Every single day, people deceive themselves with comforting illusions. They whisper softly, "I'll start tomorrow," believing it as if tomorrow were guaranteed. But tomorrow isn't promised. It never was. It's merely a soothing mirage created by minds unwilling to face reality. The harsh truth is that each second lost is irretrievable, gone forever. Every opportunity ignored today may vanish entirely by the time dawn breaks again. Right now, as you pause, deliberating whether to act or postpone, someone else, perhaps less gifted but more decisive, is seizing your moment, executing your plans, building the very dreams that still hover uncertainly in your imagination. Think for a moment about the excuses you've clung to, those rationalizations that appear reasonable yet serve only to justify inaction. Maybe you believe you lack resources, confidence, or that elusive sense of readiness. Perhaps you convince yourself that the stars must align perfectly before you dare to begin. But ideal conditions never arrive. The world is perpetually imperfect, always placing obstacles, challenges, and unexpected setbacks in your path. To wait for the perfect moment is to resign yourself to permanent stagnation. Success does not favor those who delay. It belongs exclusively to individuals who boldly step forward into uncertainty, who choose courage over comfort, action over hesitation. As you sit idle, others move forward, laying claim to achievements you once believed were yours. Imagine your future self reflecting on today's decisions. Picture the regret, sharp and haunting, of realizing how much more you could have done if only you'd started sooner. Regret weighs heavier than failure ever could. Failure, after all, leaves lessons and opportunity for redemption, but regret is merciless. It whispers cruel reminders of missed chances and dreams abandoned prematurely. The only true failure is the inaction that breeds such regret, the kind that gnaws relentlessly, poisoning the joy of even your greatest successes. It is time to understand clearly, procrastination isn't a harmless quirk. It's an insidious disease. It quietly erodes ambition, undermines confidence, and ultimately leaves potential permanently unfulfilled. The most dangerous lie you'll ever believe is that there's always tomorrow, that someday things will be easier, clearer, or more certain. That lie has silenced countless dreams and filled the graveyards of potential. You must reject it now, or risk losing yourself forever to a cycle of endless delay. So, confront yourself honestly. Why haven't you begun yet? What chains are holding you back? Perhaps you're afraid to fail, afraid of criticism, afraid you won't measure up to expectations. But fear is merely a shadow, powerful only if you grant authority. It thrives on indecision and weakens at the very instant you step forward. Fear shrinks in the face of decisive action. Every small step taken forward builds courage, dissolves anxiety, and creates momentum. Momentum, once established, carries you swiftly beyond your limitations, unlocking doors previously invisible. Action, even if imperfect or messy, is infinitely more valuable than perfect plans left unexecuted. To break free from procrastination's grip, start with clarity. Clearly define what you want, articulate your goals precisely, and commit them to paper. A written goal becomes tangible, a clear beacon guiding your actions. Share these ambitions with someone you trust, someone who will hold you accountable, someone who believes in your capacity to achieve great things. Identify and eliminate distractions ruthlessly, whether they're digital temptations, negative voices, or energy-draining activities. Each eliminated distraction returns precious moments, allowing you to invest time wisely in the life you truly desire. Small, consistent steps build extraordinary futures. Progress, however slow, always outpaces perfect stillness. Today, you stand at a crossroads, the pivotal moment between dreams and reality. It's not just another day. It's a defining choice between courage and complacency, between achievement and mediocrity. But before you decide, let me share a secret. Somewhere right now, someone just like you has chosen to act. They face the same fears, wrestle with identical doubts, yet decided to move forward anyway. As you hesitate, they're building momentum, leaving hesitation behind forever. If you don't begin now, by the time you finally feel ready, it may already be too late. Tomorrow doesn't care about your dreams, your excuses, or your intentions. It comes relentlessly, whether you're prepared or not. The life you've envisioned awaits, but it demands immediate action. So, will you remain idle, forever waiting for tomorrow's promise? Or will you seize this moment, embrace uncertainty, and finally take control? The choice is yours, but know this: hesitation has its price, and the cost might be everything you've ever wanted. Motivation is fleeting, a spark easily extinguished by fatigue, boredom, or disappointment. It's alluring to wait for motivation, hoping it will magically ignite action and propel you toward your goals. But relying on motivation alone sets you up for inevitable failure, because motivation is inherently unreliable. It arrives unannounced, inspires briefly, and departs abruptly, leaving you stranded precisely when you need it most. If you anchor your dreams of motivation, you'll drift endlessly, achieving only intermittent bursts of productivity. The most successful people know this. They've learned to depend not on motivation, but on discipline, the quiet, steadfast commitment that endures even after excitement has faded. Discipline doesn't demand ideal circumstances. It thrives precisely when conditions are challenging. It's getting up early to pursue your ambitions, even when sleep tempts you to remain comfortably in bed. Discipline is choosing nutritious meals over tempting junk food, not because you crave them more, but because your goals outweigh temporary pleasures. It's finishing a difficult project while others choose leisure, and it's saying no to distractions, even when they're disguised as opportunities. Discipline is an unwavering allegiance to your objectives, grounded firmly in the understanding that significant achievements are built not from single extraordinary efforts, but from consistent, ordinary choices repeated daily. Most importantly, discipline is within your control. Unlike talent, luck, or external circumstances, discipline depends entirely upon your choices. You may not always control your environment or the challenges life places before you, but you always control how you respond. Discipline is a powerful decision to show up day after day, regardless of your emotional state. It's the commitment of progress through discomfort, through doubt, and through periods when results aren't immediately visible. Discipline isn't glamorous. It rarely attracts applause, acknowledgement, or praise. Yet its silent, steady presence is precisely what differentiates those who achieve their dreams from those who remain forever stuck in wishful thinking. Consider the most admired figures in history: innovators, athletes, artists, and leaders. Their stories are rarely marked by constant inspiration. Instead, they're characterized by relentless discipline, by the courage to persist despite setbacks, and the determination to continue when motivation fades. Take a moment to reflect on someone you deeply respect. What sets them apart isn't simply talent or intelligence. It's the disciplined approach they adopted in pursuit of their ambitions. They understood a crucial truth: consistency beats intensity every single time. A single burst of effort rarely brings lasting change. Sustained commitment, however, transforms dreams into realities. Discipline creates consistency, and consistency creates mastery. The path of discipline isn't easy. It's uncomfortable, often lonely, and frequently demanding. But within these very challenges lies its transformative power. Discipline shapes character, builds resilience, and cultivates genuine self-confidence, the type earned through proven capability rather than shallow affirmations. Every disciplined choice reinforces your identity as someone reliable, capable, and powerful. Gradually, these small, disciplined choices accumulate, forming habits that permanently elevate your standards and expectations. What was once difficult becomes routine, and routine becomes second nature. The discomfort of early mornings, tough workouts, and dedicated study sessions fades into the satisfaction of progress, accomplishment, and growth. Yet, discipline demands sacrifice. It requires you to surrender short-term pleasure for long-term fulfillment. This means foregoing instant gratification, the fleeting pleasures of scrolling through social media, late-night parties, or binge-watching television. Sacrifice is discipline's companion, and its cost is unavoidable. But the rewards far surpass the price. Fulfillment, pride, accomplishment, and the realization of your full potential. In moments when sacrifice seems too steep, remind yourself of the price you'll pay for avoiding discipline. The permanent cost of regret. Regret is heavier than any temporary sacrifice. It follows you relentlessly, whispering accusations of wasted opportunities and untapped potential. When you're tempted to procrastinate or wait until tomorrow, ask yourself honestly, Which future do you prefer? The temporary discomfort of discipline or the lasting pain of regret? Each day presents this choice anew, and each decision either strengthens or weakens your resolve. It might feel overwhelming at first, but remember, you don't have to master everything immediately. Start small. Commit to one disciplined action today. Tomorrow, repeat it, adding one more. Gradually, these disciplined choices compound into unstoppable momentum, propelling you forward even when motivation fails. Discipline also changes your relationship with failure. Most people fear failure deeply, perceiving it as proof of inadequacy. But disciplined individuals understand that failure isn't defeat, it's simply feedback. Discipline reframes failure as part of the journey, not a dead end but an instructive detour. Rather than shrinking from failure, disciplined people embrace it, analyzing setbacks for valuable lessons before continuing the pursuit with renewed wisdom. This reframing transforms obstacles from deterrents into opportunities, strengthening resilience with each hurdle overcome. Discipline makes you unstoppable, not because you never fail, but because failure no longer has the power to stop you. Ultimately, discipline offers something motivation never can: freedom. At first glance, discipline appears restrictive, imposing rigid schedules, challenging routines, and demanding sacrifices. Yet in truth, it frees you from uncertainty, procrastination, and stagnation. Discipline provides clarity, structure, and purpose, allowing you to direct your energy intentionally rather than squander it aimlessly. With discipline, you're no longer captive to fluctuating emotions or external circumstances. You become the master of your destiny, confidently charting your path forward regardless of challenges or setbacks. As you reflect on your life, recognize that motivation alone hasn't delivered lasting change. It may inspire brief spurts of action, but never sustain transformation. Discipline, however, guarantees progress. Slow, steady, consistent. Every disciplined decision brings you closer to the life you've imagined. Each action, however small, reinforces your capability and builds enduring self-respect. Over time, you'll look back proudly at the disciplined choices that brought your dreams into reality. Yet this decision remains yours alone. Will you continue waiting for motivation, relying on something fleeting and unreliable? Or will you choose discipline, committing yourself wholeheartedly to consistent action and sacrifice? Your answer determines the trajectory of your life. The disciplined road won't promise immediate comfort, but it guarantees eventual fulfillment. It asks only one thing: your unwavering commitment. Now you must decide. Are you ready to trade temporary comfort for lasting greatness, fleeting pleasure for profound fulfillment? Or will you remain idle, forever chasing motivation's uncertain spark, destined to watch others achieve what might have been yours? The choice is stark and clear. Discipline awaits, ready to guide you steadily forward, if only you're brave enough to choose it. Success isn't glamorous, though people often romanticize it as though achievement were a neatly packaged gift bestowed on the fortunate. Yet true success, the kind that withstands the test of time, doesn't come wrapped in ribbons. It is shaped by the grind, the silent, persistent effort behind closed doors, the hours spent practicing, studying, training, and working when no applause awaits. It's forged in solitude, during those long nights and early mornings when doubt whispers loudly and fatigue begs you to rest. The grind is rarely seen or celebrated, but it is a crucible where ordinary people transform into extraordinary achievers. It demands consistency, resilience, and unwavering commitment, even when results seem distant or uncertain. Many underestimate the importance of this grind because it lacks immediate gratification. Instead, they chase shortcuts, quick fixes, and instant outcomes. But shortcuts rarely yield lasting results. Their benefits vanish as swiftly as they appear. True mastery, the kind recognized and respected, requires a slow accumulation of skills, knowledge, and experience built through repetitive, deliberate practice. Each small step within the grind, every seemingly insignificant action repeated daily, creates exponential growth over time. The greatest champions, innovators, and leaders never achieved excellence through luck or occasional effort. Instead, they relentlessly committed themselves to the daily, uncelebrated grind, confident that persistence would inevitably lead them to greatness. Yet the grind comes with sacrifice, a price that not everyone is willing to pay. To embrace it fully, you must abandon distractions that promise comfort but offer no real value. This means saying no more often than you say yes, refusing invitations that don't align with your vision, eliminating habits that drain your energy, and distancing yourself from influences that encourage complacency. The grind demands prioritization, understanding exactly what matters most and ruthlessly removing everything that stands in its way. This clarity doesn't come easily. It emerges only through honest self-reflection and disciplined action. You must become your own harshest critic and your strongest advocate simultaneously, evaluating each choice against the long-term vision you've created. Sacrifice isn't easy. It means missing social events to prepare for exams, trading leisure for rigorous training sessions, or investing late nights into building a business while others relax. It might isolate you temporarily, causing some to question your dedication or misunderstand your intentions. People will call you obsessed, driven, or even unrealistic. But understand this clearly. Greatness never emerges from mediocrity. The grind is about rising above ordinary expectations, daring to live differently than most. Extraordinary outcomes demand extraordinary commitments. When you choose to embrace the grind, you accept loneliness as temporary, understanding that today's sacrifices lay the foundation for tomorrow's success. Those who criticize your ambition today may later celebrate your achievements, unaware of the silent work, sweat, and tears behind every accomplishment. Moreover, the grind is the ultimate test of character. It reveals who you truly are beneath superficial desires. When exhaustion sets in, when motivation fades, when failure arrives unexpectedly, these are moments that define you. Anyone can show up briefly when inspired, but only the genuinely committed continue to appear long after enthusiasm has dissipated. This perseverance builds not only external success, but inner strength, the kind that endures adversity with grace and determination. Each challenge faced in the grind strengthens your resolve, teaching you patience, resilience, and humility. The grind doesn't merely prepare you to achieve goals. It prepares you to sustain them, ensuring your success remains meaningful long after initial excitement fades. Failure will inevitably appear along your path, testing your commitment to the grind. But remember, failure isn't defeat unless you choose to surrender. Instead, treat failure as an essential component of your journey. Each setback offers critical lessons and insights, revealing weaknesses previously hidden. Embrace these moments as opportunities to learn, adapt, and refine your strategies. Successful people never avoid failure. They leverage it. They use setbacks as stepping stones, elevating their understanding and sharpening their skills. Every time you stumble, get up stronger and wiser. By reframing failure, you strip it power, transforming it into fuel for relentless forward momentum. The grind doesn't promise quick victories. It promises something more valuable, lasting transformation. Through disciplined repetition and unwavering perseverance, you will evolve into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you ever imagined possible. The struggle you experience now is temporary, but the strength you build will last forever. Someday you'll look back at your journey and realize how far you've come, appreciating the hardships you once resented, because they've sculpted you into who you become. The grind shapes your legacy, defining not only what you accomplish, but who you inspire along the way. Perhaps the greatest gift the grind offers is authenticity. There's no pretending within its rigorous demands, no shortcuts, no illusions. It forces you to confront reality daily, measuring yourself against your true potential rather than external validation. Success earned through the grind is genuine, rooted deeply in disciplined effort and authentic capability. Others might imitate appearances, but true greatness cannot be fabricated. The grind distinguishes genuine achievers from imposters, rewarding authenticity with enduring respect and profound fulfillment. Yet you must choose it willingly, fully aware of its demands and rewards. No one can impose the grind upon you. It requires voluntary sacrifice, internal motivation, and unwavering belief in your potential. Only you can decide whether your dreams merit the daily, relentless effort required. Only you can choose to rise early, work late, endure uncertainty, and embrace discomfort consistently. The choice to accept the grind is yours alone, but its rewards far outweigh temporary discomforts. Now imagine yourself at a crossroads, faced again with a simple yet crucial choice. Continue pursuing shortcuts, temporary comforts and fleeting pleasures, or commit fully to grind, embracing sacrifice today for greatness tomorrow. The path ahead won't be easy, comfortable, or glamorous, but it promises profound meaning, genuine achievement, and lasting pride. Each disciplined step forward confirms your commitment, reinforcing your identity as someone destined not for mediocrity, but greatness. Your potential awaits within the grind, quietly, patiently ready for you to claim it. Are you prepared to step fully into its demands, knowing clearly what it requires? The moment of truth has arrived, waiting silently for your answer. No path toward greatness is free from obstacles. Even if you commit fully, embrace discipline, and push forward with relentless effort, life will inevitably place challenges in your way. Some days you'll feel invincible, unstoppable in your progress, only to wake the next morning to self-doubt, setbacks, or unexpected disappointments. How you respond in these critical moments determines whether your dreams survive or perish. This is where resilience becomes your greatest asset, the inner strength to face adversity head-on, adapt swiftly, and persist despite overwhelming odds. Resilience isn't merely toughness, it's flexibility under pressure. It's a capacity to absorb disappointment without becoming discouraged and to move forward stronger than before. Imagine resilience as a muscle. It grows stronger every time it's tested. Each difficulty you endure strengthens your capacity for future challenges, preparing you not just for success, but for sustainable success. Without resilience, even small setbacks can derail you, turning temporary failures into permanent defeats. With resilience, however, you become nearly invincible. No obstacle, no matter how daunting, can halt your progress permanently, because you've developed a habit of bouncing back stronger every time. Yet developing resilience requires you to shift your perspective on adversity. Most people view challenges negatively, as punishments or signs that they're on the wrong path. But resilient people recognize adversity as opportunity. Every hardship offers invaluable lessons about patience, humility, creativity, and perseverance. Lessons impossible to learn in comfort or ease. Challenges force you to expand your skill set, adapt your strategies, and discover untapped strengths hidden within yourself. The moment you choose to view difficulties as opportunities rather than setbacks, you transform your relationship with adversity. Instead of fearing it, you begin to embrace it, knowing each struggle enhances your resilience and brings you closer to your goals. Think of the most inspiring figures you've encountered, those who achieved incredible success against extraordinary odds. Their stories are compelling precisely because they've overcome adversity that would have broken most people. It wasn't luck or privilege that carried them forward. It was resilience, the determination to rise repeatedly after being knocked down. These individuals demonstrate that resilience is the ultimate form of power, far greater than talent or intelligence alone. Talent fades when confronted with hardship, but resilience grows, transforming ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. To cultivate resilience, you must practice self-awareness. When adversity arises, pause and acknowledge your emotions without judgment. It's normal to feel discouraged, frustrated, or fearful when faced with setbacks. These feelings don't indicate weakness, only humanity. But resilience means experiencing these emotions without allowing them to control your actions. Acknowledge your frustration, but then shift quickly into action mode. Ask yourself what lessons this moment offers, what adjustments you can make, and how this challenge might strengthen you. By reframing difficulties into questions rather than complaints, you reclaim your power, transforming obstacles into stepping stones. Another cornerstone of resilience is adaptability. The most successful people never insist on rigid adherence to their original plans. Instead, they're flexible, willing to adjust their strategies when circumstances change. Life rarely follows a predictable course. Unexpected detours, failures, or setbacks inevitably arise. Your ability to adapt swiftly, rather than cling stubbornly to outdated plans, determines whether you continue progressing or remain stuck. Flexibility doesn't mean abandoning your ultimate goals, but rather adjusting your approach while staying committed to your vision. It means holding tightly to your purpose while releasing rigid attachment to specific outcomes or timelines. Adaptability demands humility, the willingness to admit mistakes, accept feedback, and learn continuously. Too many people resist adapting because it requires acknowledging imperfection or uncertainty. But humility isn't weakness, it's strength. It allows you to absorb criticism constructively, identify weaknesses honestly, and seek continuous improvement. Resilient individuals never stop learning or evolving. They view themselves as perpetual students, eager to refine their skills and enhance their strategies. Each setback provides new information, revealing precisely what requires adjustment or improvement. If you embrace humility willingly, challenges become catalysts for extraordinary growth rather than roadblocks. Yet perhaps resilience's greatest strength is endurance, the willingness to persevere when results aren't immediately visible. Many quit prematurely, frustrated by slow progress or apparent stagnation. But resilience demands patience, the steady commitment to continue moving forward even when your path feels uncertain or results remain elusive. The journey toward any significant achievement is rarely linear. It involves plateaus, setbacks, and extended periods without visible rewards. Endurance means continuing to show up day after day, trusting that effort consistently applied will inevitably yield breakthroughs. The most significant accomplishments rarely appear overnight. They result from sustained persistence, the quiet endurance of resilient individuals determined never to surrender. However, endurance doesn't mean stubbornly persisting in ineffective strategies. It involves persistent self-reflection, asking whether your current approach genuinely moves you closer to your objectives. If progress stalls consistently, resilience requires honest reassessment and courageous course corrections. Persistence without reflection leads nowhere. Resilience combines tenacity with intelligence, ensuring each moment contributes meaningfully toward your goals. Ultimately, resilience isn't about preventing failure. It's about refusing to let failure define you. Every person experiences setbacks, disappointments, and temporary defeats. These moments don't determine your future unless you allow them to. Resilience empowers you to rewrite the narrative of failure, viewing each setback as temporary rather than permanent. Each moment you rise after falling, you reinforce your identity as someone who can overcome adversity, someone unstoppable, resilient, and truly powerful. Imagine your future self looking back at today. Will you recall these setbacks as barriers, or will you recognize them as defining moments when you discovered your strength, resilience, and unbreakable spirit? Resilience grants you control over the story, allowing you to shape setbacks into pivotal turning points toward greatness. Now, standing at this crucial crossroads once more, you face another critical choice. Will adversity break you, convincing you to abandon your dreams prematurely? Or will it strengthen your resolve, sharpening your skills, expanding your wisdom, and propelling you relentlessly toward your ultimate objectives? Your decision at this moment, your commitment to resilience, determines whether you rise or fall, succeed or surrender. Embrace resilience fully, recognizing it as your greatest weapon in life's battles. The obstacles you face today aren't barriers. They're invitations, daring you to prove your courage, determination, and strength. Accept this challenge confidently, knowing clearly that resilience transforms temporary struggles into permanent victories. Your resilience awaits activation, silently prepared to carry you forward beyond every setback, toward achievements greater than you've imagined possible. Every choice you've ever made, every challenge you've faced, every sacrifice you've endured, each moment has led you here, to this crossroads. The future isn't something distant. It begins now, crafted by the actions you take today. Your legacy isn't determined solely by what you achieve in the end, but by who you become throughout your journey. True greatness lies not just in accomplishments, but in the character you forge along the way, in the discipline, resilience, humility, and courage you've cultivated. Think deeply about the story you want your life to tell. Years from now, others will reflect upon your journey and speak of your impact. They won't recall your excuses, your fears, or your setbacks. They'll remember your response to adversity, your willingness to face discomfort, and your relentless pursuit of excellence. They'll recall the times you refused to give up when quitting seemed justified, and they'll draw inspiration from your persistence in moments when most would have surrendered. Your legacy is written daily, shaped by countless small decisions that collectively define you. It's not built overnight. It emerges gradually, step by disciplined step, action by courageous action, choice by resilient choice. Many wait until the end to consider their legacy, but by then it's already written. Now is the moment to live intentionally, fully aware that each day contributes to something greater than immediate satisfaction or temporary comfort. Embrace every action as a meaningful stroke upon the canvas of your life, each brushstroke forming a portrait of strength, purpose, and integrity. The struggles you've faced, the setbacks you've conquered, the lessons you've learned. All of these weave together create a narrative powerful enough to inspire future generations. Yet the strength of your legacy depends entirely on your willingness to embrace every aspect of this journey. The grind, the sacrifice, the discipline, and above all, the courage to continue even when the path grows difficult. Understand clearly, your legacy is your gift to the world. It's not merely personal achievement. It's your opportunity to leave an enduring impact, influencing lives beyond your own. Every disciplined decision you make encourages others to embrace discipline. Every resilient response to failure teaches someone else to persevere. Each act of courage inspires those around you to live boldly. You have within you the potential to ignite positive change, to spark courage in hearts weary of fear, to demonstrate clearly that ordinary people are capable of extraordinary accomplishments when committed fully. But remember, your legacy isn't built on potential alone. It demands action. Waiting, hesitating, or delaying today's decisions weakens your impact, diluting your ability to shape a lasting legacy. Every wasted moment subtracts from your potential, while every committed action multiplies it. Your power exists only in the present moment, available exclusively through decisive action. It's tempting to delay, to seek comfort now and leave meaningful action for tomorrow, but you've learned that tomorrow is uncertain. The world belongs to those who refuse to wait, who seize opportunities decisively, fully understanding the fleeting nature of time. So now, at this decisive crossroads, you're faced with your greatest choice yet. Will you surrender your dreams to excuses, waiting passively as life passes you by? Or will you embrace courage, seize control, and actively build your legacy starting today? This decision, perhaps more than any other, defines your future clearly and irrevocably. It demands honesty, clarity, and bold commitment. There's no turning back once you fully choose to pursue greatness, but the rewards vastly outweigh the sacrifices. Authentic fulfillment, profound respect, lasting influence, and genuine pride. Your story isn't finished yet. It's barely begun. Today you hold the pen, equipped fully to shape your narrative intentionally and purposefully. Each new morning provides fresh opportunities, blank pages waiting patiently for you to inscribe your journey. Will you fill them with hesitation and regret, or with courageous actions, disciplined commitments, and resilient responses to adversity? The answer lies entirely within your hands, your heart, your choices. Your legacy awaits your decisive action, ready to reward courage with lasting significance. Rise boldly now. Claim your destiny fully and fearlessly. Write your story passionately, intentionally, and without compromise. Let it inspire countless others to follow your example, discovering their own courage, discipline, and resilience. The life you've dreamed of, the legacy you deeply desire, awaits just beyond this final moment of hesitation. Reach out confidently, grasp it fully, and never look back. Your moment has arrived. Your legacy begins today.